Genesis chapter 9. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every bird of the heavens, upon everything that creeps on the ground and all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. And as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is the blood. And for your lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. For every beast, I will require it, and from man. From his fellow man, I will require a reckoning for the life of man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed, for God made man in his own image. And you be fruitful and multiply, increase greatly on the earth and multiply in it. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, behold, I establish my covenant with you and your offspring after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every beast of the earth with you, as many as come out of the ark. It is for every beast of the earth. I establish my covenant with you that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations. I have set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. Then God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. The sons of Noah who went forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the people of the whole earth were dispersed. Noah began to be a man of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backward, and they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. He said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be to his brothers. He also said, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. All the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. All right, wow. So that was another interesting chapter. I want to go ahead and transition right into a couple of questions and things that stood out to me. So the first question would be if you look at verse, let's see, if you look at verse 3 and 4, right? Did you catch the diet change, the new dietary law, right? Or prescription that was given to mankind, right? Remember, in Genesis chapter 1, we read that it was every green herb, everything, all the fruits from the trees, all of the vegetables, the vegetation, it was given as food for both mankind and all the animals. Everybody was herbivores in the beginning. But then we see now a new description of a diet where now God is saying that everything that lives shall be food for you, for mankind. And he says, and as I gave you the green plants, I give you everything. So just as Adam and his children were able to eat any green plant, right, besides the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they are able to eat everything that lives, everything that that moves. They can eat anything, any kind of animal. Okay. The only dietary restriction that they get here is in verse 4, where it says, "But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is the blood." This is the only dietary uh, prohibition that mankind is given. Okay, at this point in time, so all of the animals are pretty much up for grabs. You can eat anything, except you just can't eat it with the blood. Okay. Then we also see more things happening here. What are some more things we see here? Well, we see that God had to he had to he had to give this law here about murder. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed, for God made man in his own image. So God is reminding Noah and his sons and their wives that thou shalt not murder, not to kill one another, because what was the first sin against neighbor that occurred? It was Cain killing Abel, his brother, his own brother Abel, right? Murdering him. So God is reminding them, don't do this. Okay. Um, so that was interesting to me. Another thing that stood out was um out of the many things that stood out to me is if we look down at verse mm, 19, it says, "These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the people of the whole earth were dispersed." Okay. And here this footnote is saying, or from these the whole earth was populated. So what this is meaning then is, yeah, everybody that exists today, all of humanity that exists today, they come from these three sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? So this is where the world became repopulated, from the three sons of Noah. That's something to take note of. The other thing was this whole situation that took place with Noah and Ham, right? I'm going to read it again here. It says, so Noah became the man of the soil and he planted a vineyard. So he was the one who was planting vineyards and making wine. Okay, so he drank of the wine and became drunk and laid uncovered in his tent. So he got drunk and he was in his tent laying down naked, pretty much, right? There's what we see this text is kind of saying. But this is where it starts to get a little strange here. It says, and Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on on both of their shoulders, walked backwards, covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned backward, and they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what the youngest son had done to him. He said, "Cursed be Canaan." So why is it that Ham was the one who saw the nakedness of his father and then told his two brothers about it. But it wasn't Ham that was cursed here. It was actually his son, Canaan, that was cursed. Why? So the question is, why do you think Ham's son was cursed and not Ham himself? If Ham was the one who actually, you know, did the wrong here, why is the son being cursed? Why isn't Ham himself being cursed? You see, so this is what I think is interesting. I don't want to give off my answer quite yet, but I will say I think there's a bit of a hint somewhere here. If you look at verse 18, it says, "The sons of Noah who went forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan." What was so significant about this? Why was this mentioned here? Right? Why is Ham being the father of Canaan so significant? What is so interesting about Canaan, right? Why is Canaan brought up here? And why is Canaan the one cursed from whatever transpired, right? We see uh Ham saw the nakedness of his father, right? And went and told his brothers. So how does that then translate to Canaan being cursed? That's the question I want to leave off to you guys. All right. So we'll stop there. Those are a few things that I took note of in this chapter, and I'm leaving it off with this question on why was Canaan cursed in this chapter? What did Canaan do? It was Ham who was the one who saw the nakedness of his father. So it's mysterious here. But yeah, so that's the takeaway of this chapter. Looks like, the flood is over. Humanity is being repopulated through Noah's children. And now we end on this event here where Canaan is cursed. Uh, Shem gets a blessing, right? It seems like Shem is walking with God. Japheth, he also kind of gets blessed. May he dwell in the tents of Shem, right? We don't really actually see anything directed towards Ham, though. Ham isn't cursed, nor is he blessed. Interesting. All right, so we'll leave it off there. This was Genesis chapter 9. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next chapter. Peace.